What's up, guys? BTBS here. Welcome to another episode of BobTheBritishSkellie. And if you know this game, ooh, it's going to be a good one. So, the biohazard sign in the background and the DNA chain at the side tells me we are playing Plague Inc. Evolved. Yes. A lot of you might know this game. Years and years ago, this was ages ago, this game was on every Flash-based game site like Newgrounds and like funny shit. I can't remember what it was called, but it used to have Flash games on it. And then they realised how popular it was. They brought out a version on iPhone and Android and basically any smartphone. And now there's a version on the Steam store. And it's very cheap, actually. It's about £12, or which I think is probably about $20. I haven't got a clue. America, your money is strange to me. But yes, it's still in early access, so there's a lot of features still to be added. But just by looking at this front screen, I see multiplayer, which looks interesting. Right now, still says doesn't work, so I can't talk about that. I haven't got a saved game, so I can't load anything. But there's leaderboards, and I wonder how good I've done. Let's rank me globally. Wow! Oh, that has got to be cheat scores. That is ridiculous. Right, anyway, yes, into the game. So, if you guys don't know this game, basically, you play a bacteria, a disease, some kind of illness, and you have to mutate and try and kill off the entire human population. So, right, we've got the main game, which is just play. We have speed runs to see who can do this fastest. Official scenarios and custom scenarios, which seem like fun missions or different world types. They're not out yet, so we can't play those, but we can play the main game, and I've already played quite a bit of it, so I've unlocked some different bacterias. So we have normal bacteria, most common, unlimited potential. We have virus. Oh, look at that. Rapidly mutating pathogen. We have a fungal infection, so some sort of fungal spore. We can be a Neuriax worm, which is a parasite that burrows into the brain. We can be a generic parasite. We can be a prion, which is a disease in the brain. We have nano-virus, which is a micro machine. And we have bioweapon, which is a biological weapon. Now, I haven't unlocked the fun stuff down the bottom, and this virus down the bottom, which I'm very annoyed about, because currently, at time of recording, there is 57 achievements for the game, I think, and 26 of them are for this virus. And this virus is not in this build of the game, which is very annoying, because it's a zombie virus. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to play a bit of a standard game, so we're going to choose bacteria. Each one of these slightly changes the playstyle, and some of them change it up dramatically. So we're going to play bacteria, and here you can modify the genetic code of your bacteria. So you have DNA genes, you have mutation, travel, environment, and more travel genes. And I have not unlocked any of those yet. You unlock these by beating the campaign. So what have we got? Let's play. We want some more DNA from Bubbles, and we're going to want genetic mimic. We're going to want native biome and herbophile. Genetic mimic. Might help if I actually inserted them. What's that? Catalytic switch. No, I want metabolic jump. Actually, no, I want chromatic surge. And native biome. There we go. So basically, they just give you small buffs or different changes in the game. And I like the difficulty select is a funny one, because it gives you an explanation of how things work. So on a casual difficulty, no one washes their hands, doctors don't work, and sick people are given hugs. On normal, 66% of people wash their hands, doctors work 3 days a week, and sick people are ignored. On brutal, compulsive hand washing, doctors never go home, sick people are locked in prison. And on mega brutal, genetic drift impacts evolution, Doctors invest in research and random medical checkups. So I think we're going to go for normal, just play a little game, and Man Bear Pig. Yes, I named my disease Man Bear Pig because it's funny when you get things flashing up saying, oh no, Man Bear Pig taking over America. So, welcome to Plague. We must spread the world. Start a location to start. I think I'm going to start in Brazil. Seems like it might be fun to start there. And we're away. So I'm just going to whack the game speed up to 3 because the game works much better like that. Sorry, the music's a little loud for me. I hope it wasn't too loud during the rest of the video. That would really be annoying. So, you have your world. You have certain markers showing you various countries. You have pretty much everything you need. You've got the things that show you the borders, country borders. Pop orange DNA bubbles to get DNA points. So what we're after here is we're trying to get evolutionary points, or DNA points. They're basically the currency in this game, and you use them to evolve yourself. So right now I've infected 5 people. I've got a few DNA points, so we're going to do some evolution. And what I want to do is I want to be able to be transmitted by air. That would be very useful. So I can be. It gives you a little explanation down here of how you do it. I evolved the ability to travel on dust particles, especially in arid environments and in plane transmission. And now that I can evolve, now that I can be spread by air, I'm going to infect people a lot faster. And this game takes a lot of stuff into consideration. So one of the things I really like is what's the word? Exponential growth. So the more people you have infected, the more people they can infect. Festival of Love in Brazil. I'm going to be able to be spread by water next. And so there's a whole bunch of tips coming up telling you a bunch of things. And I've played through the game quite a few times at this point. I just couldn't stop playing it. And now once you get to the point where you have more people infected, you have to get more people infected before you get diseases, more DNA as fast. So what I think I want to do now is get probably some more transmission. Let's see, I think air too, so I transmit better through air. Yeah, let's do that. And then I should, well, I've infected thousands. Lovely. Ah, there we go, we've spread. So, you saw the orange bubbles coming up before. Clicking on those gives you bonus DNA currency. These red bubbles tell you that you've infected a new area. By clicking on them you get extra DNA. We've just infected Peru. So, you know, someone probably went over to the border on Brazil over here and then just like sneezed or just breathed over the border. And now Peru is infected as well. So we're not doing too badly to start off here. I always play in game speed 3 because if you're playing in like game speed 1 it just takes longer for everything to happen. And I'm very impatient as a person, so game speed 3 is perfect. Huge controversy erupts over university debate on whether it is fair for parents living off state benefits to give birth to children which they can't support. That's not funny. Normally those pop-ups are hilarious, like Half-Life 3 confirmed. Oh, there you go, we've just spread to Bolivia. Lovely. Now, I'm pausing the game here. Very simple, just space to pause. If you click on a country, or an area, like a landmass, you see information about it up here. So, I'm not sure what all of them mean. I know these ones, that's land borders, sea borders, and the third one is airports. So certain countries have different environments. Some are hot, some are cold. Obviously, right? And it looks like there's a lot of heat and it's moist and a lot of wildlife, possibly? Not 100% about that. Oh yes, we spread. And I just saw something excellent. This red line here, we've just spread on an aeroplane. So we have just hit Saudi Arabia. Excellent. Saudi Arabia is a perfect place to infect. It's got loads of people very close by. And it has, there we go, here's an infected aeroplane. So because we have air transmission, we can actually break through filters on like airplanes. So they filter the air, and yet my disease stays in the air. So yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes, this game. Especially because the goal of the game is to wipe out humanity. So what I'm going to do is save up 18 DNA to get water transmission. Oh no, I've hit the UK. Oh great. We are currently more infectious than TB. Lovely. I currently have 12 million people infected. And we've just spread to West Africa. Excellent. Oh, there we go. We just got, what's this down here? South Africa as well. I don't know my geography. I'm going to just up the speed a little bit there. Medicine in the USA is slowing down the infection. So what we need to do is evolve a drug resistance. Become resistant to class 1 and 2 antibiotics. Increases effectiveness in wealthy countries. So that's going to make it, that's going to mean we can spread through the USA a lot faster now that their drugs can't stop us. We just had an infected boat take us all the way up to France. We are now more infectious than HIV. Really? 117 million? HIV hasn't infected that many people? I find that strange. Oh, what's going on up here? We've got some stuff going on in Colombia. We're having trouble spreading across Europe. These rich countries... So that means it's an urban population, and that means they're rich, and rich populations always have drugs, and I think what I want is genetic hardening. It becomes harder to analyze in a lab. That's not going to help us now, actually. I'm going to get some heat resistance, so we're more resistant to heat and hotter areas, so we should be able to spread through Africa easier now. Oh, look at that, we just sent a plane all the way over to Japan. Sorry, Japan. Oh, brilliant. We've just spread to East Africa, and... Oh no, hot countries are getting hotter. And we've also just spread somewhere else over here. Where did we spread to? Oh, we spread to the Middle East. Excellent. So if hot countries are getting hotter, what we need is probably some more heat resistance. We've infected China. Now, if you want to look at what a country has, just double click on the country, and it'll give you some information. And China has 1.4 billion people in a relatively small landmass. So, good thing about China, it spreads extremely fast. Okay, our disease has just mutated. We now have anemia. So if we come onto here and see our symptoms, decrease in red blood cells or hemoglobin in the blood can lead to hypoxia in the organs. And let's just see, if we hit devolve, it actually gives us a small amount of infectivity. But I tend to play very sneakily, so what I'm going to do is devolve that so I no longer cause that, and it also gives me some DNA points back. Some virus types cost DNA to devolve things. Some give DNA. Wow, okay, we are just infecting everybody. So that is some crazy growth right there. In Saudi Arabia, you can see down the bottom, the blue bar shows you how the percentage of people infected versus not infected. We've just infected Russia. Now that we're spreading more north on the globe, what I think we should do is get some cold resistance so that we don't die in the cold areas as fast, and we should see significant growth in Canada, Greenland, Iceland, and Russia. We've just spread over to Iceland. Lovely. And what I said about the air filter allowing us to travel on planes, the water contamination transmission has almost the same effect for boats. So we can travel along the boats, and if you get yourself nice and high, you can be taken by tsunamis and floods. Can cause like mass infection. Excellent. We've got enough DNA points here. I want to buy water 2, so we go through the water better, and we should notice more boats being infected now. And we've just got the Philippines. Lovely. Oh, there we go. We've spread to Kazakhstan. disease is really getting around. I'm now more infectious than the common cold. Oh yeah. And I didn't even notice we have a lot of DNA right now. We've got 48 of it. So what I think I'm going to do is buy drug resistance level 2. And now bacteria has the special ability of bacterial resistance. And it's cheaper than buying cold and heat resistance, but it does the same thing as both. So it makes you more resistant to hot and cold climates. Technically all climates. So it helps us survive and it helps us spread and thrive. Now if we click on here, we can see the Greenland, UK, Sweden, Ukraine, Sweden, Finland and the Baltic states are the only countries we have not yet infected. And we've taken out almost 50%. We've infected almost 50% of the world. But we don't yet cause any problems. So what I want to do, once you get to about 50%, then you're alright. I want to evolve some symptoms. So, you know, coughing, sneezing, nausea, diarrhea, all that sort of things. You can build a disease that has almost any combination of any symptom, all the way up to necrosis, total organ failure, paralysis, coma, anything. But I want to start with something simple. Coughing, it's not lethal, so it won't kill anybody. It only adds a very small amount of severity. The severity is how worried people get about the virus, but it adds quite a bit of infectivity, so it will help us infect people faster. The same with rash, lovely, and nausea. So they've taken our infectivity up, and we will start infecting people faster. I've got Madagascar, so I don't need to worry about that. See, now the world has just started to notice us. And it looks like South Africa, Saudi Arabia and India are working on a cure. But it's 10,200 days until they cure me. Because I'm really nothing to worry about right now. Now we seem to be having a bit of trouble in Canada. Hopefully we'll spread to Canada soon enough. Oh, there we go, lovely. Some more spread, and we've got some extra DNA coming. We mutated sweating symptoms. Sweating, let's see. If you hit devolve but don't actually choose it, you'll notice a slight difference. The amount that you lose from each one is marked off. And sweating just gives us extra infectivity and a slight bit of severity. Now a trick that works really nice is if you get rid of every symptom as soon as you get it, no one will ever notice your disease for like so long, and then once you've infested the entire world, you can just start killing people in crazy fast. So we now have every single country in the world infected, but there's still 6% of the people in the world don't have our disease. And they are now working on a cure, so what we need to do is pop the cure bubbles, and that will help us and stop them, because they are now 800 days away from the cure, because they've realised that I'm actually kind of dangerous. We're not spreading through Greenland very fast. We've got cold too. I'm going to buy bacterial resistance too to get some more cold. So you get these pop-ups coming up during the game, and you've got a news ticker up here which tells you things. So Spain shuts down its borders, it tells you the date and stuff. And some of these are actually random events that lead to in-game achievements. So some of them are worth paying attention to. I've already got almost all the achievements I can get before that other Spain prioritising cure research. Bastards. That's Spain down there. Well, oh, severe storm strikes heavily populated areas in Monaco. Crop and property damage. See, something you can do is you can use the natural disasters to your aid, and say there's a flood, or you think there's going to be a flood soon, get water transmission, and then people who were caught in the flood can spread and get your disease. We've almost infected the entire world, so what I want to do is start killing people off. So I think I'm going to gain sneezing and immune suppression, and then total organ failure is probably the most important one if you want to kill people fast. You notice the lethality goes from almost nothing jumping up to about a third. So when I buy that, people are going to start dropping like flies. So if you see here, 400 people dead, that's from the typhoon basically, and as soon as a day ticks past, I'm now killing people. First death. The research is only at 22%. telling me to fight the cure. Cure is 25% done. I think I could afford to buy some more extravagant murder opportunities. A second. Still 1% of the world isn't infected. Right, it's basically just 1% of everybody. There we go. Every single person in the world is now infected with man-bear pig. So what I want to do, not coma, I'm going to go this route by skin lesions, and then this one, necrosis. Large swaths of infected tissue lose blood supply and become a fatal source of gangrene. Ugh. Decomposed bodies remain a vector from transmission. So by getting that, not only can people get infected by dead bodies, but they will start getting necrosis. Their skin will just start... If you don't know what necrosis looks like, I recommend you don't Google it, because it is enough to make a good few of you lose your lunch. Hey, look at that, killed more than smallpox. And we are starting to murder off the world at a frightening rate. 50% of the cure is complete. Now, if you're worried about how good the cure is getting, what you can do is buy this genetic reshuffle. It gets a bit expensive, but what it does is it just basically removes a percentage from their cure research. I have gained pulmonary oedemas. Lovely. I've killed about half of the world at this point. Not quite. London Olympics. Oh, I wonder why they've postponed the Olympics. Could it be because 52% of the world is dead? I think I would postpone the Olympics at that point. Iraq is in anarchy. Oh, there we go. We have killed 5 billion people. I can't believe some places still have normal planes going. Indonesia's government has fallen. So I know this game quite well, so if this seems like it's rather easy, even on the normal difficulty, it's not at the start. If you play the game for the first time, I'd recommend casual, because you need to learn ways of doing things, like which country to start in, and I've got a lot of those genetic modifications at the start as well, which really help make the game a lot easier. Look at this, I've got 88 disease points, DNA points. I'm going to buy necrosis. I'm going to buy hemorrhagic shock and internal hemorrhaging, just to kill the world a little faster. Goodbye, human race. Seriously? Spain's not dead yet? There you go, Spain's almost dead. Another 500,000 people and there'll be no one researching. You gotta give it to the human race, they keep trying. Man-bear pig has destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. The last few humans, they know they are watching the end of history. Yes. 100,000. We're dropping. They are dropping like flies, people. 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. And I eradicated humanity. So every time you beat a campaign like that, you will get your screen here. It took me 784 days. Wow. They got 80% of the cure done. I got a score of 60-60. I unlocked base hydrolysis, which is a new gene. So if we take a look at that, if we just jump in here quickly, base hydrolysis, is that one of these? No. That is... Ah, there it is. Your plague can mutate abilities. I also have base oxidization, and my plague can mutate transmissions. So this allows you to, how I mutated certain things, like organ failure and stuff like that. I didn't mutate that, but symptoms. This allows your plague to mutate transmissions or abilities, but it does also make it easier to cure. I tend to go for genetic mimic, just makes the plague harder to cure. But I think I can show you very quickly something a bit different. So that's one type of plague. That's the basic, the bacteria, the first one you get. I want to show you the Neurax worm. This is the parasite in the brain of a person. And what we're going to do is we're going to get metabolic jump. We're going to get genetic mimic. And we're going to get native biome, so it spreads in its own... It's the place it starts. We're also going to get herbophile. so it spreads in urban areas faster. And let's play on normal. We'll call it Man, Bear, Pig again just because. And now what I want to do is I'm thinking of starting in America. There you go. Weak and unsophisticated, it must evolve using DNA to infect more people. The Neurax worm has been undiscovered for thousands of years. Now humans have entered its natural habitat and given means to spread. So it's got a little storyline. So it's like, oh, there was a deep drill rig or something, or someone cracked open a tomb and this bacteria, this brain parasite was found inside. I can show you, in fact, this is what our parasite looks like. And if right here we can see the effect we're having on the brain is very minor right now. We're just sort of sitting on top of it. So what I want to do is get transmission by egg. See, this guy has completely different everything. He has different abilities. He has Trojan planes where he can control people's brains and basically tell them to attack a certain place on Earth. In fact, I can show you that right now. If I evolve that, I should get a Trojan plane come up fairly soon. Orange DNA bubble. Millions of people. Oh, miners and crafters look forward to the opening of a new top-notch diamond mine, which is expected to revitalise the Swedish economy. This is a Minecraft reference right there, if you didn't get that. I think we need to get better transmission. We'll get genetic swap, so people can exchange them via genetic swapping, so kissing, fucking, that sort of thing. So I really like this Neurax worm because it's got an interesting condition to win, like a victory condition. And I'm not going to be able to show you it just yet. I might just add a clip onto the end of the video so I can show you guys the condition, because it is very interesting. Right, we need to spread faster, so I'm going to get transmission eggs 2. So yeah, I don't really want to think about that, but apparently the brain parasite sort of shoots eggs out of the person's head to infect new people, which is kind of makes me skeeve. I think what we should get is mutative regeneration. So regenerate. Yes, fragmented RNA causes frequent replication errors when regenerating, so it gives you an increased chance of mutation. So if we put our 2 points into that, we will much more frequently mutate certain things. Medicine in the USA slowing the infection. I should have thought about that. I need 12 DNA to get medicine resistance. Ah, lovely. Medicine resistance. So this might not be the most fun thing to watch, but it is extremely fun to play. I've been playing it for probably about 20 hours at this point. We've gained the neural breach syndrome symptom. Tendril production in the cerebellum. So if you look at our picture, we're extending tendrils into the brain now. So we now have increased control over the host. Ugh. The idea of a brain parasite, it makes you think, it's like you go to itch your head and you're just like, oh god, is it a brain parasite? No, it's just an itchy scalp. Thank fuck for that. Bit of extra DNA. There you go, we're starting to infect more people now. Also, hundreds of people now have Man, Bear, Pig inside their head. Ah, we gained cerebellum tendrils. What? Oh yeah, sorry, the first one was neural breach. Which is, so the first symptom we actually got was breaching the blood and brain barrier, so we can actually get inside there. And then we just gained the ability to get better control over the host. So we can take a look at the USA. We've got a few people infected. We're not spreading much. That's okay. This isn't supposed to be a fast virus. Oh, we're going up in hundreds now. We're getting more people faster. We just need a little bit more DNA. We've infected thousands now. Excellent. Ah, just looking at the world, so clean, of no red dots anywhere. I can't wait to change that. So let's have a look. We still only have 7, but can we get a better transmission? We can get consequential locomotion, which basically means the parasite is able to survive outside of the body and move. So this thing could jump out of someone's head and walk across the floor to someone else's head. So we just have, we've just extended tendrils into the frontal lobe. Gain the ability to mentally manipulate the host. So we can sort of give people ideas and we can tell them what to do. So as soon as more people get infested near that airport, we can start sending them to different countries. Oh, we've spread to Mexico. And we've spread to Canada. Excellent. Now I know there's probably some Americans thinking, hang on a minute, isn't like this on this side of Canada actually America? It's Alaska. And the game has a little thing about that. There's some flavor text somewhere. I can't remember where. No, there was some flavor text that basically said about America buying Alaska. No, Canada bought Alaska back from America. There was a huge earthquake in Mexico. Oh, it destroyed research facilities. So if anyone there was researching me, that would slow them down. Excellent. We've just taken Iceland. We're infecting more countries. The man-bear-pig brain disease is getting out there. Brilliant. Just see these little red dots and you're just like, I know these are going to get better and better. So if we get transmission, I think transmission by insect would be very useful. Straight away, we've now got China, and I think we just gained India as well. And I think I missed a bubble over here. We've now infected the UK. Brain parasites for life. Here we go. Trojan planes. So what we do is we take this and we say, I want to send infected people to Australia. And straight away, a plane full of infected people hits Australia, and then Australia is now infected. And we just gained something interesting. Immaturity. Hormone production altered, which causes reduce in maturity. Lowers level of hygiene. So that makes it easier for me to spread as well. Now what I want to do is, I actually like the Trojan planes ability with this. So I like to upgrade it to maximum as soon as I start actually being able to use the Trojan planes. What it means is, when I do send a plane somewhere, it's going to send a lot more people. So there we go, we sent 200 diseased people to Brazil. So the more people you get there, the easier it is to continually... Scientists tell public not to worry, man-bear-pig is just another parasite. Oh, if only I was just another parasite. The USA is now working on a cure. But that's okay, because the USA is helping me. What I want to do is, I think, Trojan roamers, which basically causes people to travel more. So the brain parasites just sort of like in there, just sort of whispering. It's like, hey, you know you've always wanted to go to like Australia? Oh, okay, so our brain parasite now has deep tendrils going into the brain as well. I'm going to get perception jolt and optical mesh. And I'm just going to... So the whole idea of the brain parasite is that you don't need to kill the host. What you want to do is you want to, take control of their senses so they don't know you're there. I think what we want to do is send people to Greenland. We are infecting everybody so fast. Greenland is actually losing people. The US shut down their borders. We need cold resistance. Click. So yeah, each virus type, each disease type, each plague type, I suppose is what they call it. Each plague type plays a little differently from every other one, and the brain parasite is probably my favourite, simply because it's the most interesting, and it allows direct control via the sending of the planes. So you can directly choose who you want to infect, and with what. And what I think is very interesting is, we got enough for it yet? No. Want to get Mania, and then Obsession. So, because I can, there you go, scientists basically don't know why, but people have started collecting earthworms. I gave all the humans who were infected with me the obsession, and now they're obsessed with something different other than researching and stuff like that, and washing their hands. And I think disturbing reports of man, bear, pig. Lovely. So symptoms, we can now get devotion, so the human race will become devoted to us, and transcendence, which basically we flood the brain with so much oxytocin, and the human race now just doesn't care. Anybody who has a brain parasite loves the brain parasite. Oh, we're starting to kill people. That's not good. I don't want to kill people. I want to enslave the human race. We must have mutated something bad. Obsession, no. What did we get? Ah. I do not want that. So this actually costs DNA to devolve certain things, which is bad. Ah, fight the cure. So I love this. I just love how people infected with man, bear, pig are reporting visions of rapture, a glorious new overlord species. Without a cure, life as we know it will be over. As soon as I manage to spread to enough people, they just stop caring. They just embrace the worm. They love the worm. The brain worm, because I am the brain worm. Let's just get some more transmissions here, just so that we can spread to the world a bit faster. Global research is now focused on a cure. Good for them. They're going to need it. We still have a few places that aren't infected, mainly up here. But that's okay, because they will be very soon. Sorry, I know this video is running a little bit over, but I'm really interested in showing you guys the alternate end, Philippines, which is over there. So by finding out which country isn't infected, I can target specifically that country, allowing me to take over the world just that much faster. And if I gain a little bit of cold resistance, a little bit of heat resistance, and get my guys to wander more so they infect people faster, and I might as well just send that plane there. Let's get some more plane. And then what do we have up here? Trojan destroyers. Trojan hosts cause destruction and aggressive behaviour in target country. That's not good. I'm just going to get a genetic reshuffle because they were starting to develop a cure for me. We've just got insanity. That's alright, I don't mind killing off a few people now. Man, bear, pig has been placed on a watch list. Go and infect Zimbabwe a bit more. Get more people infected. Wow! Central Africa just jumped. That is some exponential growth. Just one week, nothing, and then the next week, bang, everything. I'm gonna get some more transmissionaries here because I really don't want these dickholes to cure me before I can take over the entire race. Now the best thing about this is right now there's basically 1% of the race, 1% of the human race, 19 million people. There is 19 million people on Earth who aren't slaves to my brain worm. Now there are no healthy people left on Earth, and the interesting thing is because I have the transcendence and I've now infected every single person on Earth, the whole world worships Man Bear Pig as their god and master. Efforts to cure the plague have ceased, and humanity is entering a dark new future as a slave species. And that is another win condition. So it's something that's... each plague is completely different, or just has subtle little tweaks that make it different. And you know what, guys? This game is insanely fun. I've been playing it for hours, and I'm going to play it for hours more. I'll include all the links down in the description. I recommend you pick this game up. It's very fun. It's still in early access, and things like multiplayer, they blow my cock off with how fun that sounds. I would love to have, 10 people in a world, all with different viruses, and you have to fight each other's viruses, or one person controls humanity and one person controls a virus, that sort of thing. I cannot wait to see how this game evolves. See what I did there? because it's called Evolved and you evolve your thing. But I might actually put out a second Bob Has a Butcher's later on, after a few changes to show off some new features of the game. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I hope a few of you are going to go out and buy this game, and if you do, have fun. Peace out.